Let's go. What is up, guys? Spiritual Lemonade back with another video. We got a brand new album from Canon. We got the 4th volume of Loose Canon. For those of you who don't know, I have low-key been listening to Canon for a long time. I think this is actually the first time, which is crazy for me to even say. This is the first time checking out something from him on his own, like some of his own individual like solo art on the channel. I'm pretty sure I reacted to Vigilante with Derek Minor, and that was a collab album. That was not a standalone solo album for Canon, but he's dropped several albums, especially these Loose Canon albums. I remember when I was first getting into Christian rap, he was one of those guys. And yeah, I've been tapped in for a minute, and we have an album. It really is only a short project, only 8 songs, but some of these titles have grabbed my attention. Crazy Like Yay, I'm very interested to see what he says on that. And then Mission and Marty at the end as features. I'm super excited for this. Before we get into it, remember, when life gives us lemons, we praise the Lord, and when life takes our lemons, we still praise the Lord. It's a good Monday. I got off work an hour early, and I got home. My copy of the Backrooms 4K Ultra Blu-ray came in, and yeah, we got some new music to check out. Can't be better than that. We got Spin It Up first. Let's get it. Loose. Loose. Let's get loose.
Yeah, this that bring out the heat. Y'all wanna be in my kitchen? Bring out the grease. Came to turn the street up. Y'all don't wanna get ran over. Get out the street. I'ma switch street lanes. Y'all don't forget.
Energy off rip is crazy, bro. He said if y'all don't want to. He said something about cooking in the kitchen and grease.
Yeah, this that bring out the heat. Y'all wanna be in my kitchen? Bring out the grease. Came to turn the street up. Y'all don't wanna get ran over. Get out the street. I'ma switch street lanes. Y'all don't forget. I've been in my whip like. What a messed up. Look, this me sober. I ain't been burning no trees.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Dog, the energy on this track, if this is what the rest of the album sounds like, bro, this is gonna be a problem.
Looking at me like a new planet, holding one flag, but the representing now. The business now, about to get it back ahead of them jokers. I'm on my feelings now, about to grill it now. I'm Jennifer. Anybody stood in front of me, better pivot. See a target, better hit it. Get a dollar, better flip it. Ain't working, better switch it. Big assist, I ain't no hit or miss it. I ain't saying I forgot about ministry. I'm just saying that it's back to business. Mother hit us for anybody who.
He said he's not forgetting about the ministry, but there's also a business aspect, and that is one thing. You know, Canon is very closely connected to Derek Minor, and for those who don't know, Derek has been doing a podcast with Paris Chariz. I slept on it for the longest time, but I have been going back and rewatching all those episodes. Derek talks about this a lot, and Paris too, but Derek specifically talking about how much there should still be business incorporated in the music. Like, obviously there should be the ministry, there should be a very clear mission that you have as an artist or whatever you're doing creatively, but he is not backing down on the fact that there really is also the business side to music, no matter if you're trying to just be a ministry or, you know, whatever it is. And I like like that he's talking about that on this song too.
I ain't worried about nobody who talking to the internet. Better see me in person. Anything you gotta say, better say it right in my face. Don't be acting churchy. I'm right behind a pulpit. Where I'm from, I got a full clip. Breaking hammers like a toolkit with some duct tape for them loose lips. But we ain't trying to get on none of that. I mean, how about don't feel like a runner back? I run up with anybody who resisting the system. They want us up under that. And it's for anybody who been waiting for me to return. I'm coming back. Slow clap with the scope cut. Ain't gonna let nobody hold me back. Yeah. Ain't gonna let nobody hold me back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't gonna let nobody hold me back. Yeah, yeah. Ain't gonna let nobody hold me back. Not me, not you. Ain't gonna let nobody hold me back. Yeah.
Crazy. Loose Canon, Volume 4. And he crashed the car. He literally crashed out on that. Yeah, crazy way to start this project off. A lot of energy on there. We got Never Scared up next.
I ain't never scared, I ain't never scared. I ain't worried about no odds, but I can't prepare. NFL, I've been with my brodies in the field. Got me sliding through your city like I'm.
There's so many bars, like, just immediately off the bat.
I ain't worried about no odds, but I can't prepare.
I ain't worried about no ops. I came prepared.
NFL, I've been with my brodies in the field.
NFL, I've been with my brodies in the field. I've been with my brothers out in the field. NFL, football player, football field.
Got me slide through your city like I'm on a drill. If it's real, then it's real. We don't do no faking. Open book, I ain't looking over my soda. I ain't got cases. God swung me blessings all of my dreams, so I ain't gotta chase them. That's favor. Faith walking on water, grace, that's amazing. Let's blaze it. It's fire all in my bones, the heat that can't take it. Rather keep my soul to gain the whole world. I'm faithful, not famous. I've been trying to keep it real cool. I can't burn for no paper. That's major. God grace, I cannot forget where I came from. Big step in my faith, got me walk around like I got a big weapon. I ain't flexing, gotta protect the heart, bulletproof enough to midsection. God told me it's great, it's all in my heart, buddy, my life destiny. Yeah, I ain't scared of nothing coming from me, we gon' send a message like, woo, 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 better get down and lay down.
Nah, this production, who produced on this? I should have checked on the first song as well. Who produced? Legend 2 times. Shout out to Legend 2 times.
Two hoes, all of my fears, bet they gon' stay down. Yeah, got blessings coming like a chopper, watch how they rain down. Yeah, you can come from my head to my heart, but I ain't gon' stand down. Yeah, hold up, you know I got heart for this. Me Xing out, anybody tryna hurt me now, just art for me. Walk with me, gotta drop the road that I thought I had, but God said they had a part for me, but it cost, homie. You can get what I got for you at the part for me. Now I ain't tryna get lost in nobody a story. Yeah, I just wanna shake the world and get God all this glory.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to fight for nobody if they ain't for me. I don't got no respect for no name. They don't come with warnings. Ain't no label or a title you can hold right up over me. I just wanna see fruit in you like a bag of groceries. I just love God and love people. That's the code for me.
What did he say?
Right up over me. I just wanna see fruit in you like a bag of groceries.
I just want to see fruit in you like a bag of groceries. I love the cadence. I love the way he delivered it, but also that's a tough bar. You know, I'm all about the fruits of the spirit on this channel. Love, joy, peace, patience. Got them in rotation. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to No Big Deal, but also, you know, Galatians, the whole verse talking about the fruits of the spirit. That is what the channel, that's like how you make spiritual lemonade, bro.
I just love God.
That's literally the ingredients.
People, that's the code for me. Don't coast on me. Either pay respect or be slow to speak. I told you I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared. I ain't worried about no odds, but I can't prepare. NFL, I've been with my brodies in the field. Got me slide through your city like I'm on a drill. If it's real, then it's real. We don't do no faking. Open book, I ain't looking over my soda. I ain't got cases. God swung me blessings all of my dreams, so I ain't gotta chase them. That's favor. Faith walking on water, grace, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Reload that ting. Let's go. Okay, we got Crazy Like Ye. I'm so excited for this. I'm a huge fan of Ye. Obviously, his crash outs are crazy, but I love the music, okay? I'm a fan of Ye's music. So I'm interested to see what we got here.
I'm gonna go crazy like Ye. They gonna hear whatever I say.
Off rip, bro. He said, I'm going to go crazy like Ye. Obviously, we knew he was going to say that. But he said, they're going to hear everything that I say, because no matter what Ye says, whether it's something agreeable or something absolutely crazy, everyone's going to talk about it. Everyone's going to hear it.
Can never do what I do, but try to copy me play by play. Yeah, I'ma go crazy like yeah. You don't wanna get me started. If I pop up, they shoot on my target, man. Cause I do not fit in your margins. Don't make me up it. Maybe lose my mind. Bump it. I'ma just up it. Maybe lose my mind. Bump it. I'ma just up it. Maybe lose my mind. Bump it. I'ma just up it. Yeah. Maybe lose my mind. Bump it. I'ma just got them looking at me crazy. I got no manners. My direction too creative. I'm Canon like Lady Gaga. What you know about cameras? I'm not a guy, but I'm.
He's dropping references to. Oh, holy cow. He referenced the camera thing that Ye went off about Lady Gaga. What she know about cameras, or what she know about? Was it Kodak or what's the other one? Polaroids or something? Bro, there's no way he's referencing that interview. That's crazy.
putting on display the most high. Eat a standard, got me dripping in fashion. How you looking like sway? You ain't got no answers. What we gon' do? If we don't win, guess they'll never know. They wonder what I'm gon' say, or how I'm gon' crash. I guess I'll never fall. I ain't here to say that we some gold diggers. My wife ain't hanging with no joke figures.
Gold Diggers, one of Kanye's biggest songs. Holy cow. Can't tell me nothing. All the lights. Power. Holy cow. Saint Pablo in the Mountains. And that also could be a play on the cover art for the self-titled Yay, or I love being bipolar, or I hate being bipolar, it's awesome, or something. It could be a reference to that album cover, but then also just all these different song and album callbacks. Homecoming, Through the Wire. Oh my gosh, bro. All falls down. Heartless Joe, bro. I just said Joe. This guy's got to calm down with all the Yay references. I mean, he's making an entire song actually talking about stuff, like it's a story kind of telling song with bars, but also just relating it all to like different song titles, album titles from Yay. Blood on the leaves. Monster. Forever. Oh my gosh.
They can never do what I do, but try to copy me play by play. I'ma go crazy like yeah. You don't wanna get me started. If I pop up, they shoot on my target, man. Cause I do not fit in your margin. Don't make me up it. Make me lose my mind. Bump it, I'ma just up it. Make me lose my mind. Bump it, I'ma just up it. Make me lose my mind. Bump it, I'ma just up it. Yeah, make me lose my mind. Bump it, up it. Make me lose my mind. Bump it, I'ma just up it. Make me lose my mind. Bump it, I'ma just up it. Make me lose my mind.
Bump it.
I'ma just up it. Yeah, make me lose my mind.
Oh, I like the synths here. Alright, who produced this? Legend 2 Times? Yep. Low-key, bro went crazier than Yay right there. Nah, I really like that song. Really well produced, and also just all of the references, cross-references to Ye's music and stuff that he said in interviews and stuff. I loved that. It's just a creative song right there. We got Falling Down up next.
I'm falling down. We keep on falling down. How do we keep from falling down? These broken wings got me falling down. I'm falling down. I keep on falling down. Why do I keep on falling down? Falling down. How much you gonna take from me? Feel like I can't break away.
Ooh, we got the drill rap kind of womp womp womp, the womp womps. I like that.
Feel like I can't break away. Is it too late for me? Yeah, I feel like I'm falling down. I feel like I'm falling down. I know life is full of ups and downs, yeah. Better watch your back, whoever you trust could be your downfall. Tell your heart, but some alarms fail to sound off. Watch the ones close to your heart, they'll knock your crown off, yeah. No matter how far we came, we all made mistakes, yeah. We done tripped and fell on our face, look up over the flame, yeah. You done been through so much, you ain't new to pain, yeah. You done thought you lost your mind, what's going through your brain, yeah. It's enough to crash out, make you.
Bro, low-key sounded like Rod Wave right there. Yeah, like the way he was like saying that note.
You ain't new to pain, yeah. You done thought you lost your mind, what's going through your brain, yeah. It's enough to crash out, make you crash. Yeah. You can back up your bag, but you can't run from your past. Think about your regrets, gave all that you had. You done put everybody else first, while they put you in last, yeah. Forget thinking about who gon' pray for you, pray for you. You done try saving yourself, cause they ain't got no case for you. God trying to get your attention, he got grace for you. And all that healing that you need, he got space for you. Fix our wings, we keep on falling down. We keep on falling down, yeah. How do we keep from falling down? These broken wings got me falling down. How much you gonna take from me? Feel like I can't break away. Is it too late? to the other side, walking like I'm free, yeah. I done been through the pain, I done been through the pressure like I ain't gon' make it, yeah. Suicidal, almost blew my head off, I ain't gon' fake it, yeah. Smoking all day, trying to hide it from the family, have me like a spaceship, yeah.
Man, he ain't gonna fake it. He's talking about literally real life stuff that happened to him specifically. He's not just doing it for the vibes, for the clout, or, you know, for people's opinions to change. For him, this is something that he went through.
The other side, walking like I'm free, yeah. I done been through the pain, I done been through the pressure like I ain't gon' make it, yeah. Suicidal, almost blew my head off, I ain't gon' fake it, yeah. Smoking all day, trying to hide it from the family, have me like a spaceship, yeah. All day, drunk all night, I was lost in the matrix, yeah. There's plenty of people I could've called, I ain't really wanna talk. I was riding around me against the world, middle finger to the law, yeah. But God changed me when I was dehydrated, he brought me the faucet, yeah. He slowed me down, cause I ain't...
That's a fire way to put it. He was thirsty, but he was, like, he's saying he was dehydrated. But you know the whole story, the woman at the well, like, he will, like, the Lord, he will quench the thirst. I like that. Just the way he phrased that. I've never heard someone say it in terms of, like, dehydrated. That's pretty cool.
Cost me, yeah, was falling. Had to learn to walk back to crawling. Had to shake them demons up off me. Throw my suit better in a coffin. I got cautious. Had me going back and forth and thought of me going back for him. Had me nauseous. No, I cannot go back. No, I cannot go back where I started, yeah. I promise I was falling down. I swear I was falling down. Feathers falling as I'm falling down. Let me help you up while you falling down. I was down on my knees crying. How much you gonna take from me? Feel like I can't break away. It's too late for me. I feel like I'm falling down. I feel like I'm falling down. I took some space, cause I needed more grace. They was thinking I'm okay, but really I was fading away. Yeah, I was falling down. You ain't gotta keep falling down.
Again, these synths, I love them. Alright, that was more of a melodic song, switching the vibes up a little bit. I do think, again, like I was saying earlier in the beginning of Falling Down, definitely giving some rod wave vibes on the more melodic side of that. I'm not saying he was copying, it just sounded very similar to something that Rod Wave would sing. But I low-key rocked with it. We got Keep It Simple up next. Let's get it.
Yeah. Stop. Let's keep it simple, it ain't deep, yeah. Wanna open up big doors, move your feet then. That life you want gon' cost you, it ain't cheap, yeah. You gon' have to put in work, ain't none of this sweet, yeah. Gotta set up a plan for you to keep, yeah. Ain't about you doing what you want, do what you need, yeah. And it ain't no competition, it's you gotta beat, yeah. Better wake yourself up and hit the streets, yeah. Talking about you tired, we ain't did no work. I remember hustling from broke like I ain't got no church. Yeah. Talk to God every day like I ain't got no church. I only move when God talk, he gotta say something first. Yeah. Growing pains is normal, talking about they hurt. That's life. Overanalyzing but not doing, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I see who in a pen, she picked out your skirt. And she believe in you more than you do, that makes it worse.
Bro, I'm gonna run it back because he was saying some crazy stuff there, and I want to talk about it. But I'm really loving this vibe. I feel like I can't tell if this is more of a Detroit kind of beat or if this is a West Coast. I want to say it's more West Coast, but I know those two, even though they're in different areas on the map, they have slightly similar production styles.
Normal talking about they hurt. That's life. Overanalyzing but not doing, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I see who in a pen, she picked out your skirt. And she believe in you more than you do, that makes it worse. Oh, you the big stepper, gonna step up. Every time I caught a blessing, the devil crept up. Forget talking how hard it is. How about you level up? Make a couple plays and get in the game, and then we settle up. Gotta quit looking to see who around you. They get ahead of you, yeah. You just focus on the better you get. You know everything you're telling you, yeah. I don't care if artificial intelligence do it better. Get the editing in and settling in. Load it up and get it poppin' for you, then the family wins. Yeah. Let's keep it simple, it ain't deep, yeah. Wanna open up big doors, move your feet, then. That life you want gon' cost you, it ain't cheap, yeah. You gon' have to put in work, ain't none of this sweet, yeah. Gotta set up a plan for you to keep, yeah. Ain't about you doing what you want, do what you need, yeah. And it ain't no competition, it's you gotta beat, yeah. Better wake yourself up and hit the streets, yeah.
All right, we got like a low-key transition right there. Nothing too crazy, but I like to keep it simple. Definitely was a simple song compared to some of the other ones lyrically. But I really liked the production. I thought it was very fresh sounding, especially for Canon. I don't think I've really heard him on a specific like production style like that before. But we got Flowers. Looks like this may have been a single, but I have not personally heard it, so we're gonna listen to it.
Still tripping how we made it. I'm good, but I still, I had to put in work. Ain't no free load. You gon' have to make a move, can't work.
He said, I had to put in the work, ain't no freeloading. And again, to talk about Derek Minor and Paris again, on the podcast that dropped this morning, I think it was actually this morning, they were talking with Eli Montana about how they want to make sure that they're highlighting not just themselves, but also like Eli, for example, Eli Montana, you know, just because Eli is cool with Paris and Derek, it does not negate the fact that he is where he is now because of the hard work that he personally has put in. It's not because of the friendship from Paris and Derek and that connection. He was working on music and grinding way before he met Paris and Derek. So I think that's something to always, you know, consider when you're looking at someone who may or may not be a super new artist. I just hit the mic. I hope it didn't mess up the audio there. But yeah, I think that's something that we might be hearing more about on this song, specifically Flowers, like giving flowers to people, and the hard work that they have put in and not like just looking past that. I think that's cool.
Still tripping how we made it. I'm good, but I still, I had to put in work. Ain't no free load. You gon' have to make a move. Can't worry if they feet cold. Hello, might call a few favors. Got my biggest G code. We was down but not for too long. Set it off, let's reload. I don't gotta tell my wife she got lock in. She know. Full quarter music might hit my call up Chino. We all in. I keep it a stack. My meter say kilo. I like you don't know how we bump it. We dump 'em like free throws. High body, hot roster got hard bodies. Don't worry about how we got them. They slide for the team. Try me. I call one my brothers for it. He ready, he in the lobby. I told Ledger send me some. We shaking over everybody. We waking over everybody. Reflect God, reflect greatness. Talk crazy. God made this. God raised this. Dry bones to high places. Not fake.
Dry bones in high places. Let me run that back, bro. That flow switch was disgusting.
He ready, he in the lobby. I told Ledger send me some. We shaking over everybody. We waking over everybody. Reflect God, reflect greatness. Talk crazy. God made this. God raised this. Dry bones to high places. Not famous. Stop chasing fools that have your mind racing. There's power in my peace. That's why I'm protected like my life savings. So nah, we ain't giving the devil no more credit. God been calling us, but how long we gon' overlook that message? Overstressing about overlooking our blessings. What we left with is God testing our soul. How is this making me whole? If I got my flowers, I'ma plant them in my garden. Pass them out to all my people who took part in how I got here. To my wife and my family, my brothers, we done cried tears. Nobody gave us nothing. We used the ball what we had here. They gon' stress your mind, but get them thoughts above your chest. How'd I wake up thanking God? It could've laid my soul to rest. But stepping off that young drunk was leaning, watch my soul in that. Mind gone, high blown, the world, my soul depressed. Called my brother one time, he told me he fed up. Told him keep that shit up. Say working overtime, bet he won't let up. I got all type of thing to hold me down. Back door get being set up, standing on hall 10 like paperweights. Okay, what's up? Shut up. It's G-E-T-G-H-E-C-A-L-O, and that's me. Watch me M-U-R-D-E-R-D-I-S with extra G's. Stack your bread and lettuce up, don't do no extra beef. Yeah, watch out for the walls, I keep a let her creep. Yeah, had to learn from losses, never hit on the street. Yeah, had to learn how to listen better, listen more than you teach. Yeah, you got the spirit of God, move more.
So we gotta learn how to listen before we start teaching. You gotta be a student before you can become a teacher. I like that.
Yeah, I remember life had me stressed and bite down over me. Yeah, don't hide your feelings, wear your heart in your sleep. Yeah, I can't slide it, you ain't my brother. Everybody ain't cheap. Yeah, you thought you got our back, you turned joy on the team. Yeah, real recognize real, how you keep the VIP off the team. Yeah, but nah, I can't get a devil no more credit. God been calling us, but how long we done overlooked that message? Overstressing about overlooking our blessings. What we left with is God testing our soul. How is this making me whole? If I got my flowers, I'ma plant them in my garden, pass them out to all my people who took part in how I got here. To my wife.
Ooh, that's a fire way to phrase that too. I know he said this already, but he said if I get my flowers, I'ma plant them in my garden. They're gonna multiply so that he can give the people around him that helped, you know, kind of huddle around him and build him up. He wants to give the flowers back to the people that helped him. I like that.
My family, my brothers, we done cried tears. Nobody gave us nothing. We used to ball what we had here. What we had here.
What we had here.
Nobody gave us nothing. We used to ball what we had here.
Fire. Again, just the message of that song was really cool. I like that. We got How Much I Score with Mission. I'm very excited for this. Let's get it.
Yeah, this cold world can make your heart cold. Can't keep up on yourself, that's a hard no. Yeah, we keep stacking up these wins with our heart go. Though every day a trending day like Zell and a Carlo.
Oh my gosh.
Win a day for tomorrow. Gotta be careful, all this pain to make you hollow. Yeah, sending in some flames like I'm charcoal. Gosh, the widow's been trying to climb out this dark hole. Yeah, put them on some game, hope they level up. Level up. Double backing on my spill.
Put them on some game, hope they level up. Levels to a game. I like that.
Said enough, they messed up my spill like I ain't said enough. They messed up, gotta take away what's negative. You're not adding up. Mad about your situation, we don't think you're mad enough.
You have to take away what's negative. That's not adding up. Oh my gosh, when you're adding up, you're going positive. That's crazy.
On my spill like I ain't said enough. They messed up, gotta take away what's negative. You're not adding up. Mad about your situation, we don't think you're mad enough. You ain't mad. Scripture affirmations make the soul richer. Lift up, touch a half of your potential, paint the whole picture. No excuse, it's whatever you want. Make your soul lift up, pull a whole crib up. No more chilling like old liquor. Sip that. This day-to-day life got us feeling numb. If God keep bringing me the smoke, I'ma need some bigger lungs. Lucy trying to catch me in snares, got me some bigger drums.
If God keeps sending me smoke, I think is what he said, I'ma need some bigger lungs. What?
If God keep bringing me the smoke, I'ma need some bigger lungs. Lucy trying to catch me in snares, got me some bigger drums. The more I get triggered, I'm thinking I need a
snare traps, but also drums. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, pressure trying to bring my whole family down, but faith from OGs get pants like a hand-me-down. How'd I get my mind right? It's up, can't bring me.
My gosh, every single line is a bar, bro. Let me run this back.
Family down, but faith from OGs get passed like a hand.
Faith from my OGs get passed down like hand-me-downs. Oh my god.
I got my mind right, it's up, can't bring me down. They wonder how I be moving my faith, walking like Stevie now. Look ahead of you, learned that life strange, you'll arrive for nothing. Spent your whole life to chase money and left with none of it. I've been on, turning everything to gold the moment I touch it. And if you try to steal my joy from me, find me clutching. Bro, if your mind is loud, right. If your mind is empty, read. If your mind is racing, walk. If your mind is tired, sleep. I'm sharpening my mind, I'm trying to build me a dream. Ain't let none of y'all hold me back, that's just how I think. Yeah, be quiet, somebody trying to teach you something new. Be quiet if you're about to criticize without a solution. They heroes in a movie, we heroes in a movement. And I'm acting on real faith, they acting on Tubi. This cold world can make your heart.
He said, I'm acting on faith, you're acting on Tubi. That's crazy. He said he's literally putting into action his faith while you're over here just acting terribly like a Tubi movie. You know how terrible the actors be in Tubi movies. Oh my gosh.
Can't keep up on yourself, that's a hard no. Yeah, we keep stacking up these wins with our heart go. Though every day a trending day like Zell and a Carlo. Yeah, we've been trying to win a day for tomorrow. Gotta be careful, all this pain to make you hollow. Yeah, sending in some flames flames like I'm charcoal. Gosh, the widow's been trying to climb out this dark hole. Yeah, every day.
Said he's been sitting in some flames like some charcoal.
Me hoping more. Let the devil steal. What matters is how much I score. Yeah, play the game until you can't play no more. On the field fighting my battles, trying to win a war.
Satan in his ear trying to dry snitch. How you go around with the dark and you not lit? Blending in just to get some rank. That is not it. It's not how I feel when he disrespect and getting drop kicked. Make a way. I was always staying out of hater space. When they said come as you are, I came and begged the nation. Talk about a flex and paying tithes off 100K. In the hood was telling them my views they had 100 drakes.
Oh my god.
I ain't back down. They can make you dance. They just gotta put them racks out. This is my real life. It ain't nothing that I act out. Tried to walk on them. Why you think that I crashed out? Yeah, threw 100 up in traffic. I was told get used to it, but it's nothing everlasting. They had power in the war, but we winning it with passion. They ain't know my life started when they set me in the casket. Mission.
They ain't know my life started when they put me in the casket. Because we're getting raised back up. You know, once Jesus comes back, we'll be alive and thriving. I like that.
Can't give up on yourself, that's a hard no. Yeah, we keep stacking up these wins where the heart go. Though every day a Trinity like Zell and a Carlos. Yeah, we've been trying to win a day for tomorrow. Gotta be careful, all this pain to make you hollow. Yeah, sending in some flames like I'm charcoal. Gosh, the widow's been trying to climb out this dark hole. Yeah, LCV4.
Nah, bro, that was such a bar-heavy song, and I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff too, even though I paused a lot on that one. There were just so many good, like, one-liners on that. Shout out to Mission as well. I think on a video that I made at least 1 year ago, maybe a couple years ago, I think one of his kids had commented on that video, just like, actually that comment was recent, but the video that I made was from a while ago, and they were asking for a specific song to check out. I didn't end up getting to it, but I hope if they're watching, I hope you rocked with Reaction. We'll get more Mission. Maybe if he drops an album this year, we'll definitely make sure to cover that on the channel. But we got the last song, Let Me Talk, with the one and only Marty. Marty has been on a legendary run this year. I've been loving what he's been putting out. We just got Cult Classic Deluxe. I don't think I got around to that reaction, but I did love the new songs on the Deluxe. Yeah, let's see what we got here on the last song, Let Me Talk.
Yeah, what up? Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I never cheated on my girl, but I did cheat death. It's a cold world, y'all can see my breath. Seen grown man cry.
It's a cold world, you can see my breath when it's cold outside, when it's so cold out, and you breathe, you can see your breath. That is insane, but it's like a cold world, like it's rough out here. That's a crazy bar.
I never cheated on my girl, but I did cheat death. It's a cold world, y'all can see my breath. Seen grown man cry, even Jesus wept. That's a weird hill to die on.
That is so... All I can say is that line is aura. He said, even men can cry, Jesus wept. The shortest verse in the Bible that has so much aura. I love the way he delivered that line, bro.
I see my breath, seen grown man cry, even Jesus wept. That's a weird hill to die on, at least you dead. Always got that thing on me like a BFF.
That's a weird hill to die on. Oh my god.
Had to carry me too, I couldn't see my steps. Marty back in town, better run for your life. Hit the target every time like Saturday's the wife. Squad rolling deep like Hebrew Israelites. I'm out in the Caymans. I ain't trying to be like Wesley Snipes. This ain't a vacation. They said I sound like Nathan Doom, but I ain't a replacement. Freestyling in the Kia felt like Big Tigger in the basement. The bars.
Big Tigger in the basement, freestyling. Oh my gosh. Marty is just different, bro.
Innovation. You're trying to blow up, but that's your final destination.
Blow up, final destination.
Yeah.
Just let me talk my shit.
We back at
Why when nobody's watching, you don't need witnesses. Integrity's doing right in the darkness. If you need applause, you already compromised. Revolutions ain't televised. Product don't tell lies, there's truth inside. Not minimizing your intuition, but don't put your feelings before your mission. Swallow pride like dinner time. Your past explains it, but don't excuse you. You still a vibe, keep it cool, but if they cross lines, make them feel the fire. Real power protects, sometimes even dominate. But you can self-sabotage yourself, they ain't gotta hate. When power becomes personal, that's when it turns poison. Smart leaders.
Oh, I like that too. He's using the, I don't know if, I always forget what this is called, but when he's using the, another good example is Tory Deshawn. He's like, I ain't jumping for joy over jewelry, using the J repeatedly over and over. He's using P, power, poison.
You can self-sabotage yourself, they ain't gotta hate. When power becomes personal, that's when it turns poison.
Yeah, power becomes personal, that's when it becomes poison. I like that.
Quiet jokers to bring the noise in. Yeah, let me talk my shit. Just let me talk my shit. Be quiet, just let me talk my, yeah. Just let me talk my, hey, try to catch the patterns before you catch the problem. And listen twice as much as you speaking when you resolving them. Lucifer got you following hard, no, don't fall for him. When I don't understand, I talk to God and call on him. If Christ is the word, and that's a sword, follow him. My feet running after God before I follow men. Tailing myself in righteousness before I follow trends. But I'm not perfect, I make mistakes when I follow sin. Egos are how you prove some. We just gotta lead by example and demonstrate how to move some. Your silence should make them rethink they self. You take the room when you speak with wealth, knowing they need help. When you move in a way that demands respect, you don't gotta chase it like a worker chasing a check, cause you a boss, and if they benefit from
you ain't gotta chase it like a worker chasing a check.
Because they don't mind you doing the work for them, they don't want to take no loss. Yeah, hold on, let me talk my shit. Just let me talk my shit. Be quiet, just let me talk my, yeah. Just let me talk my, let me talk my shit. Be quiet, just let me talk my shit. Yeah, just let me talk my shit. Be quiet, hold on, just let me talk my.
Hey. Nah, this was a crazy album. That was Loose Cannon Volume 4 by Canon. Those last two songs with the features went absolutely dummy in the headphones, bro. I will definitely be re-listening to a lot of these songs. Man, it was a short but sweet project, I will say that, but we had some really, really cool production. I feel like some different production styles compared to some, really most of what I've heard from Canon in the past. We had a couple different songs that had kind of like that Detroit / West Coast beat. I know they're two different production styles, and two different areas, but I was getting those vibes. I loved the little inflections that he was adding, him and Mission, on their verses on How Much I Score, where it was just like there was a tone. You could almost envision their facial expressions when they were rapping. I love the cover art, very cool cover art right there. And yeah, this was with RMG. Canon is signed with RMG, so that's pretty cool. Reflection Music Group, for those who don't know. And yeah, I feel like this is for sure the first time that I've covered anything from him solo-wise, so I was glad to finally get Canon on the channel, get a Canon reaction out. Literally one of these Canon events on Spiritual Lemonade. Nah, I'm just kidding. But we got 8 crazy songs. I will have the link in the description if you want to go listen to these songs on your own. The link to Canon on Instagram will be down there in the description as well if you want to go drop him a follow. If I had to pick my top 3 songs from this project, I'm going Crazy Like Yay for sure, How Much I Score, and Let Me Talk. I think Let Me Talk actually might be my favorite, then Crazy Like Yay, then How Much I Score. But all these songs are crazy. Let me know in the comments what your favorite song, or if you have a top 3, what your top 3 songs are from this project. And if you have any extra thoughts about it, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go be fruitful. Let's go.